r/NoSleep. Posted by u/horror, junkie123. I signed up for a mail order bride. She's been whispering awful things to me at night. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of my situation, I guess I should explain, huh? I bet you have no earthly idea what the hell a mail order bride even is. Up until a few months ago, I would have been just as confused as you are. I wish I'd never found out. During the pandemic, my job had gone completely remote. At first, it was a welcome change. All my newly acquired free time was like a breath of fresh air. Until it turned sour. I became a shut-in. I slowly fell out of touch with friends and family. Social events were a no-go. The only time I really left my house was on my weekly trip to the grocery store. The loneliness was killing me. I was browsing the internet one evening, as per usual, when an ad caught my eye. Worldview Connections. Sick and tired of slimy dating apps? Sign up for a mail order bride. Your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. Maybe that was worth looking into. I'd had zero luck on Tinder, unless you count the plethora of bots trying to get me to add their Snapchats. I decided that it was worth a shot. I clicked on the advertisement. I was getting more and more intrigued the further I read. For a fee, this company would fly me out to meet women whom it deemed a good match for me based on our attributes and interests. Of course, we'd need to hit it off over text or video chat first, which I had no qualms with. Money wasn't an issue for me, and I could use a vacation. What did I have to lose? I signed up for the service the next day. I was hooked up with a consultant. Jared seemed pleasant over the phone. It may have been an act, but he seemed like he genuinely wanted to help me find a partner. For the first time in years, it felt like I was making some real progress in my life, even if it was just a start. I won't bore you with the details. It took weeks, but eventually, I found a woman who I felt a real spark with. Amelia and I hit it off right away. She was an absolute smoke show. Blonde hair, blue eyes. The works. I was smitten. After weeks of nightly video calls, we decided to meet. I was absolutely over the moon. I couldn't wait to tell Jared the good news. I called him the first chance I got. Eli. What's up, buddy? What can I do for you today? Hey, Jared. I have some good news. Remember that girl you set me up with a few weeks ago? Amelia? A smile tugged at the corners of my lips. Just the mere mention of her name was enough to brighten my day. Of course. Wait. Don't tell me. Is this the one? Like, the one? She sure is, man. I think we have a real connection. I'm ready to fly out to Paris to meet her. That is awesome. Congratulations, my friend. It's not a 100% guarantee that you're going to tie the knot yet, but in-person dates are the first step. I'm proud of you. Just shoot me a text with the days you two want to stay there, and I'll book you a flight. Thanks, Jared. For everything. You're a godsend. You got it, buddy. Don't forget to fill me in on how it goes. Amelia and I decided to meet the following week. I had plenty of PTO saved up, so taking off work wasn't an issue. I was buzzing with excitement. Even if things didn't pan out, this whole experience felt like such a rush. One that I desperately needed. Now, I wish I would have stayed home. I was like a kid in a candy shop the whole day. It was like a veil had been lifted. Colors were more vibrant. Smells were stronger. Food tasted richer. If this was what being in love was, then I didn't ever want it to end. The trip to France was a long one. I had multiple connecting flights, and by the time I finally landed, I was pooped. I wasn't going to let that stop me, though. I texted Amelia the moment the plane touched down. Hey! I'm in your neck of the woods now. Can't wait to see you. Her response was almost immediate. That was one of the things I liked about her. Amelia was fantastic at communication. I'm glad you made it safely. Let me know when you're all settled into your hotel room and I'll show you around. This was like a dream come true. I was getting to take a trip to Europe and meet up with a gorgeous woman. How did I get so lucky? I took a cab to my hotel and dropped off my things. The bed looked so comfortable. Maybe I could just rest my eyes for a few no. I'd have plenty of time to sleep later. Amelia was waiting for me. I'm all checked in. Ready when you are. Awesome, I'll be there in 15. I can't wait to see you. My heart fluttered. This was really happening. I could hardly contain my jubilation as I sprinted down to the lobby and plopped into a chair. This was it. The moment of truth. 15 minutes came and went. 16. 17. 18. When 20 minutes passed by with no text from Amelia, I was starting to get worried. Did I come all this way just to get stood up? My heart plummeted into my stomach. I knew this whole thing seemed too good to be true. I stood up dejectedly and prepared to return to my room. You ever just want to curl up into a ball and die? Take that feeling, then magnify it by 40, and you'll feel a fraction of my disappointment. I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes. One began to trickle down my cheek as I trudged to the elevator. Then I heard it. Eli. Over here. I whipped around, quickly swiping to tear from my face. There she was. Amelia looked even more beautiful in person. She'd curled her hair, her blue eyes shimmered like the ocean, and her smile was enough to melt my heart. I couldn't stop a big goofy grin from inching across my lips at the sight of her. Amelia. It's so good to finally meet you, I said, wrapping her into a tight embrace. She gladly reciprocated. I wish that moment could have lasted forever. When we finally let go, I tried to steady my palpitating heart. Truth be told, that was the first physical contact I'd had with a woman in, well, let's just say it had been a while. So, I heard you need a tour guide, Amelia giggled. Sure do, I said, shooting her a wink. After you, m'lady. Alright, looking back on it, that was pretty cringe. But she thought it was funny, okay? Amelia and I had the night of our lives. We had some of the best pasta I've tried in my entire life, we rode an open-top double-decker bus around the heart of Paris, and we even kissed under the Eiffel Tower. Cheesy, I know, but I had my love blinders on. Amelia, this has been the best first date I've ever been on. Tonight has been incredible, I said on our way to hail a cab. I could feel my cheeks burning bright red. Oh, you probably say that to all your girls, she quipped, lightly punching me on the shoulder. You caught me. I'm a real womanizer, I said, firing a finger gun at her. Gah, a finger gun? What was I thinking? Never ever do that. With moves like that, I'm not surprised. You know me. The epitome of cool. So. There's something that I want to ask you, and I don't really know how to say it without coming off as a weirdo. She locked eyes with me, a soft yet stern look overtaking her countenance. Eli, whatever it is, it's okay. You can talk to me. What is it you wanted to ask? I smiled. This girl really was perfect. Do you want to spend the night with me? Nothing sexual or anything like that, I was wondering. Like, maybe you'd want to cuddle or, Yes. I want to. I was glad she cut me off. I was stumbling over my words worse than Popeye the Sailor Man. We made it back to the hotel and headed straight for my room. I could feel my eyelids drooping. The exhaustion was catching up to me. Amelia and I crawled underneath the covers, and I fell asleep with her snuggled up next to me. I couldn't imagine a more perfect end to such an amazing night. I awoke to a pitch-black room. My eyes gradually adjusted to the darkness, the static slowly clearing from my vision. I tried to move my head. But I couldn't. Dread swallowed me like an anaconda. I had sleep paralysis. My eyes darted rapidly around the room. I took a deep breath. I needed to calm down. Everything was fine. I began to assess my situation. I could feel the weight of Amelia's slender body pressed against my chest. That worked to ease my mind. I was glad she was there. Just as I closed my eyes and started to drift back to sleep, Amelia shifted. She repositioned herself close to my ear and started to whisper. I'm going to kill you. I want to skin you alive. I'm going to snap your neck. My heart began thumping furiously against my chest. What the hell was I listening to? The girl of my dreams was murmuring the nastiest, most vile things I could imagine, and I couldn't do a thing about it. I could tell that she was still asleep by the light rise and fall of her chest and the wispy, dreamlike tone of her voice. But what if she was faking it? I couldn't be sure. I was forced to lie there, paralyzed, listening to those horrible words spewing from her mouth like venom. There was no way I'd be able to get back to sleep with that. But eventually, I must have. I hesitantly opened my eyes. My ears were instantly assaulted with an awful barrage of humming. Actually, it didn't sound awful at all. I was kind of enchanting, actually. I sat up in bed. Amelia was standing at the other end of the room in a bathrobe. Her hair was up in a towel and she was brewing a pot of coffee. So, last night. Did I make all that up? Was it just the sleep paralysis playing tricks on me? I wasn't sure that I wanted to know the answer. Good morning, Amelia giggled, snapping me from my stupor. Morning, I said, rubbing my eyes. How'd you sleep? Like a rock. You were so comfortable that I was out like a light the moment I sank into your chest. What about you? I rubbed the back of my neck. I slept fine. This might sound like a strange question, but what? Hit me with it. Do you ever talk in your sleep? She paused, mulling it over. Nope, no one's ever told me that. Why do you ask? Oh, no reason. Just forget I said anything. I think I just had a weird dream. She shrugged, turning back to the steaming pot of coffee in front of her. Maybe I had imagined the whole thing. I've heard some strange stories about sleep paralysis, after all. Whatever the case, I made a mental note to keep my guard up. The rest of the day was a breeze. We visited the Louvre, chowed down on baguettes, and ended our romantic evening with a wine tasting. It felt like a dream. All the terror I'd felt from the night before had been pushed right out of my mind. Until bedtime rolled around. That evening, I again found myself lying with Amelia watching some corny show that I didn't care to pay attention to. I tried to stay up just a little bit longer to observe Amelia's behavior, but I was exhausted. I still hadn't caught up on sleep from the flight and it was really taking a toll. I didn't even remember drifting off. But I suddenly found myself staring up at the ceiling. Everything was dark, save for the faint glow of the television screen. I began to hyperventilate. This couldn't be happening. Not again. My eyes frantically darted around the room, or the ceiling, I guess I should say. I couldn't believe that I was having sleep paralysis for a second night straight. I mean, what are the odds of that? I'd never had that issue before. Just as the thought crossed my mind, I heard it. Whispering. This time, the words were clearer. They were more malicious, somehow more heinous than the night before. And I was absolutely terrified. I hate you. I want you dead. I'm going to slit your throat. I want you to suffer. I'm going to chop you up into little pieces and feed you to the pigs. I wanted to fight. To run. To scream. But I could do none of that. I was trapped. I don't know how long I endured that torment. My persecutor was relentless. She just wouldn't let up. Whether I passed out from exhaustion or fear, I have no clue. But when I did wake up, Amelia was humming that same familiar tune. I hesitantly pried open my eyes, half expecting to find some twisted, evil figure standing at the foot of my bed. But that's not what I saw. Amelia was sitting on the edge of the bed, just staring at the wall. What should I do? Was she waiting for me to wake up so she could torture me or something? I'm terrified. I'm typing this on my phone, praying that she hasn't noticed me. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Because I can't fathom the amount of suffering that I'm going to endure if Amelia decides to act on her nightly urges.